Welcome to Mr. Boogeyman, where every story is a journey into the unknown. If you enjoy the thrill of the eerie and unexplained, consider subscribing for more chilling tales. John sat on the edge of the bed, staring blankly into the darkness that enveloped the room. The walls, once vibrant with laughter and shared dreams, now seemed to close in around him, taking on a menacing quality that whispered of his despair. He could still feel the warmth of Emily's presence, lingering in the air, yet now it was tainted by the chilling silence that followed her absence. The night felt endless, each minute stretching into infinity, as if the universe itself were holding its breath in mourning. He wrapped his arms around himself, seeking comfort in the familiar embrace of his own warmth, but it did little to ease the gnawing ache in his chest. A faint whisper of wind echoed through the hall, causing the shadows to dance and twist against the walls. John shut his eyes tightly, forcing himself to think of happier times, their laughter echoing in his mind like a distant melody. But just as quickly, those sweet memories As John pieced together the fragments of Emily's life, he never knew. A wind began to howl outside, rattling the windows and sending a shiver down his spine. He recalled her eyes when she spoke of her days, the way they sparkled with life, but sometimes dimmed with hidden sorrow. That confusion was rooted deep in his chest, twisting like a vine strangling a tree. Was he truly the man she had loved, or merely the one who failed to see the darkness that lurked beneath the surface? The feeling of being watched grew stronger. Shadows flitted just out of sight, and every creak of the floorboards sent a jolt through him. He needed answers, answers that would set Emily free from the chains of her past, and perhaps redeem his own heart. As he stood, summoning the courage to face whatever lay ahead, a fleeting glimpse of her twisted, anguished spirit gripped his mind. He vowed to unravel the mystery that held her captive before it consumed him entirely, plunging deeper into the dark secrets that haunted the home they once shared. The air in the house grew thicker with tension as meant to hurt you. It began, and each line unfolded the regrets she'd carried into the grave. As he read on, John felt the weight of her despair pressing down on him.
Emily, I can't change the past.
He spoke, his voice trembling but firm.
But I want to understand, to set you free.
The house groaned as if in response, the walls pulsating with her raw energy. Books flew off the shelves, crashing to the floor, a tempest in the confined space, swirling around him. John's breath began to quicken. He could feel her anger emanating from the very walls of the home they had shared. But amid the chaos, he sensed something deeper, a flicker of yearning buried beneath her wrath. With every ounce of strength, he began the ritual he had hurriedly researched, speaking the words of healing and forgiveness with sincerity. The room shuddered, light flickered, and Emily's silhouette flickered before him, caught in warring emotions.
You must forgive me.
such a deep love, transformed into such a horrific end. John stood up and walked through the house one last time. Each creak of the floorboards echoed like a whisper from another time, and he paused in the living room where they'd shared countless evenings. The fireplace still held the remnants of their last fire, the ashes a stark reminder of warmth turned cold.
Forgive me.
He murmured, his voice barely above a whisper, directed toward the space where Emily once flourished. He could almost feel her presence again, yet this time it was more comforting than frightening. He left her a small token, a photograph of their wedding day, in hope that it would guide her spirit on its journey. As he turned to leave, the house seemed to sigh, the shift in energy palpable. With each step away, John felt a yearning pull, not just from the memories, but a lingering sadness for a love that had been suffocated by vengeful resentment. He reached the door and glanced back. The house stood silent, a tomb of echoes, bidding him farewell. In the car, he took one last look at the place that had been so much more than brick and mortar. As he drove away, tears streamed down his cheeks. He was not just leaving behind a house, but the chapters of his life that intertwined with Emily's spirit. Perhaps in time, he would find a way to remember her without the weight of anguish tethered to it. The road stretched ahead, a blank page waiting to be filled with new stories, allowing the past to merge into the quiet background where it belonged.